Let's trade today's market with Bitcoin coming back above the 64,000 US dollar levels, and even though here hasn't been too much movement, surprisingly the S&P 500 almost hitting new all-time highs and the Nasdaq also going significantly back to the previous all-time high resistances, and this could be very interesting for the pre-market opening. We also see significant upside, 0.6% in the profit at Nasdaq and even plus numbers in S&P 500 and the oil price. So for today it could be really interesting if we wouldn't have a certain problem in the order books. I want to talk about the Binance top trading positioning right now in this area and the recent pump after the market opening, because we started in August, one of the historical worst months in the history of Bitcoin, and with this initial pump, even though we saw good movement, even though we are very low still, the Binance top traders start to exit out of the Bitcoin price, and we still have significant price targets under the current levels of Bitcoin. So I want to talk exactly about my plans of the Bitcoin price, how I want to trade the next dump to the downside, and what I have done so far to prepare if we don't get all the price targets filled in the downside, if we just get the push in my next price targets of $70,000 target levels for Bitcoin. So welcome back on the channel, restarting this one here because in the European Union they're getting stricter and stricter regarding to the regulation and everything. So my positionings, my exchange accounts, I'm partially not allowed to show in my German videos, which is pretty crazy, but here we go, here we are in the English version of my uploads. If you like these videos, the time relevant updates, I'm always looking forward for every thumbs up under the video. Thanks a lot for supporting also in these summer times. And still a small reminder, we are probably completing a very hard drawdown year for Bitcoin and coming to one of the most significant moments that we all wish to be active in, at least in the bull run highs. We wish to be active in the point of maximum financial opportunity compared to the all-time highs, where we have the exact opposite of it, like euphoria, thrill, belief, optimism and stuff like this, where everything is pumping. All investors are running into the point of maximum financial risk, and now where markets are down, Bitcoin is 50% below the all-time high, global liquidity is booming, all the assets, S&P 500, whatever, are close to all-time high. We are pretty sure coming closer and closer to the day of maximum financial opportunity. And maybe if this was not the exact bottom or local bottom before we hit the $70,000 price targets, I'm pretty sure being active in these times might make a significant difference to the performance of all the retailers coming later to the higher prices, going up prices, or they will completely vanish in altcoins and lose their money. With Bitcoin, sticking with Bitcoin and the consistent performance it always did out of these significant drawdowns, I'm going to stick here with you guys and check out the Bitcoin chart. And so far we have not really improved from our resistance, still from the latest local top in this downward movement. The local top was in June, middle of June. We have not really developed above these resistances. No, we even got sold under it, and this might be looking like a small retest of the 0.618 Fibonacci level. We need to push above these prices. Very important, because still I don't know why the markets were turning so closely before we got all the liquidity washed out. My price targets, my limit orders are still sitting there waiting for getting bought up with 0.3 Bitcoin each. So this position will become a whole Bitcoin position with an entry slightly above the $62,000 levels, which I'm completely fine with, even though we have to manage our stop losses after these price targets. If they don't have support, if they don't show support, I don't want to hold too much drawdown in the positions. So in this one, this target has not been reached so far. I'm still waiting with my liquidity down there. I'm hoping for a big crash out. And also the Binance top trader are now showing significant downgrades of their long exposure. You can see in the red color, this is the whale versus retail accumulation, and now you see that the red color indicates strong whale accumulation and the retail is most of the time just buying local tops. I don't know why this is not called unfair or a cheat code. It has such a high hit rate. Never go long when all the retailers are pumping in the market, going long and going strong, buying opportunities in the tops of each move. Every time the retail is accumulating, check out the last top at 83,000 US dollars. It was like massive retail accumulation all the time. All the local tops were bought with it, and as soon as the Binance top traders go out of their long exposure and retail starts buying, I'm not longing these prices anymore. Our job has been done and absorbed perfectly. Now we have some few entries, break even plus minus a few percentages so far, but I'm really looking forward to hit the $70,000 levels, even though we have not compounded and scaled up the trade so far, which is just an opportunity. For me, very interesting will be the price movement above a certain level, which is already within our resistance, and it's called the daily EMA ribbons. You can take the simple moving averages. I'm a fan of the exponential moving average. You can add them in your trading view, and you can see we have huge volume profile created here in this downside movement. Almost everything above us is huge resistance, and the daily EMA ribbons, of course, they flip bearish multiple times, and of course it's not guaranteed in a downward trend that we only pump after hitting a price above the daily EMA ribbons. But every day, and remember this, we come closer and closer to the point of maximum financial opportunity, and I'm aiming for these days. I want to have all the upside. We had record breaking positions all the way up from the 64,000 to 81,000, where we started shorting again. Now we are back in full scale long position, almost full scale long position, and I want the daily EMA ribbons to break. You can have the simple moving average. There we just have like the smaller versions, the 20 and the 50 simple moving average almost getting broken at $64,400. We would be super nice in the market, and also a breakout out of this consolidation, which is more like, yeah, just to have something in the chart, just to have a resistance shown, but it's not most reliable to trade on this trend lines. It's much more important to have like this significant resistances broken. Then we need our last resistance, the 0.86 Fibonacci level, also being broken. So this is like the price area where every decision will be followed afterwards. Many retail will start buying, probably smart money will take profits, and for me the price target is still the $70,000 levels. That's where I have my take profits counted, and as long as we are always getting a little bit of negative funding, I'm super happy with it. And my little advice for all of you guys, check out the exchange named WEEX. This exchange is linked down in the video description below, and here I cannot find a single other exchange that has this cheap kind of funding fees. I'm getting paid more for my long position that I have to pay in funding fees. So we have a huge advantage, and we're getting small partial payments all the time. We are positioned long in Bitcoin, which is the positioning I finally want to have in the market, of course. Even after October, maybe we have to wait a little bit. So WEEX is a non-KYC exchange you can use in the video description down below. You get a little deposit promotion also. If you make your new account, you can deposit in crypto, stablecoin, Bitcoin, whatever you prefer, and then start your trades with no KYC, nothing behind it. And here's what I'm going to do furthermore, because there are also very interesting coins. Some of them even reached my entry and target levels. This is hyperliquid. You can see here where I exited all my hyperliquid spot position. I mean, like 80%, not everything sold out, but I sold at $72 my spot amount of hyperliquid, which was in the first pump, I have to admit. So the second one was slightly above for a short period of time, and then we wait for retracement, of course, for a pump to all-time highs. We don't buy in the green candles, we are buying the red candles, and we're buying them at the perfect retracements. So first time it perfectly worked with the $52 level. Now we extended to a new all-time high. We just add this to our calculation for the fib levels, and exactly here I also did 2 entries on hyperliquid. The first one has been taken very quickly. I have to show you here. The first one just a few hours or days ago was exactly at the same level, $52. Oh wait, let me check this, $52, and I had to take profit a little before my price target, which is way above the $57. I had to take profit before because we had a stop loss in the profit sitting, maybe making $150, something like this, and we went under and below our support level. With the new opening in August, I had to make a decision. We are probably getting a pump because Hyperliquid is one of the most profitable coins, companies, and blockchains you can ever find in the crypto industry. Check out DeFi Llama, just for like the on-chain research. It will help you a lot. Hyperliquid, put it in and you will see the annual return is crazy. Revenue annualized 700 million. Then you have fees, 1 billion in fees, which is also ultimately profitable. And their buyback and burn mechanism is like maximum optimized for buying back and burning the tokens, which are significant amounts of token buyback and burns for Hyperliquid. So I couldn't resist, make my second entry. And what is now very, very special, I have my price target for just the next fib level, the 0.5 partial take profit, where I'm going to put out half of this position in the take profit, but just half of it, because what we are facing is one of the most simple but also most effective chart analytics you can ever find in crypto or in whole markets, and it's a trend break. You can see here the trend is your friend until it ends. Just for your visual support point in the times where the price is getting bought up, where you can probably expect support. And if the momentum is going down, if we don't see higher highs in our trend and we start to break it, I even put out the daily EMA ribbons, which had a very big bearish flip so far. I want to have exactly this for maybe a short trade, or like confirmation that we exited the right time and the right price. And then I'm going to fill in my Fibonacci extension or retracement levels. This is the retracement I want to buy in, and the take profits with the 0.5 might not be enough or might not be optimistic enough, because also this downward sloping trend is going to break. Price or targets, wow, you really have to make like this and find out where the price is going to stop, just for like having a price in mind, which could be one of the best case prices before we are facing like huge volatility where we maybe want to reposition. I think best case would be to pass through the 0.5 Fibonacci level from the upside at $62, pass through it, and at least at $64 to $68. I expect a huge resistance, not too easy for the price to push above it. There must be something very great in the tokenomics happening. Now with the beginning of August, there will be some token unlocks, which is not very good for the token amount in distribution and whatever. It will make much more supply, and this must be met on a lot of demand, which is maybe not on point with the buyback and token buyback and burns that they do on the short period of time where the unlocks will happen. But super interesting. Also, the Tron chart is looking super juicy. It's consolidating for months already in pretty much the all-time high area. This is one of the trades I did because I had Tron for a very long time in the spot market. I did very good performance on the chart, but honestly, it doesn't look so healthy, or it looks more manipulated than organically bought up and whatever. The blockchain is alive. It has a lot of transaction volume. I'm only skeptic because of like the founder, all the history that is on Tron so far. But it looks like a trade that I want to enter. First of all, I exited all my spot Tron at about 28 cents, which was a crazy good performance from the bear market prices, super strong. And then I was just watching it and getting an objective view on the price of Tron. This one, a breakout, was wonderfully executed here. We hit a new slightly above all-time high, like very small all-time high, and now we got a retracement back to exactly the prices that are attractive to me, at least to me. And what do I mean with that? From the bottom we crashed to the all-time high, we hit the 0.618 Fibonacci level, exactly the retracement I want to buy in. I did not buy in, I was skeptical because they have huge liquidation wicks. And now with this consolidation and potential use of the blockchain and whatever you can expect, there is a very good chance of an ascending triangle to break above the resistance we are facing here. Same resistance prices, but always higher lows in the market and always a little bit of push. If we were gonna break out, super nice for a long trade potential, a few cents only. It's not too much volatility I expect, and I want to have a tight stop loss below the 0.5 Fibonacci level. That are my short-term trades in the market. For Bitcoin, of course, it will depend a lot how the altcoins perform. Whatever Bitcoin is doing, they mostly do the more extended version of the move. And so I'm waiting for Bitcoin to push through. That would be a wonderful boost for our Hyperliquid and Tron positioning, and that's what I'm going to wait for, what I'm going to execute on the exchanges, and I'm also going heavily into the grid bots. You know, I have them running on Pionex. I'm also, for the European users, I'm testing it or using it, pretty confident or pretty happy with the solutions and with the results. I'm using it on OKX, so this one is also eligible for all the European users which got like completely overregulated, let's say overregulated. These work perfectly. So if we are not on point, or like the move with Bitcoin may take weeks, months, even, I don't hope it will take too much of time, but every time this volatility hits our limit orders, we are basically making profit, or we're just buying in positions which are closed in a profit. You can see the buy orders here, you can see the sell orders above, like hundreds of them stacked above and under and over each other. That is really one of the best strategies I know for volatility, and that's why I'm gonna use it very heavily. All the tutorials and stuff like that will come on the channel, so make sure to subscribe, like the video, and follow with the notification bell activated. Then you will be able to see and getting notified when my tutorials for the grid bot trading and all the bot trading is coming online. So far, until then, I wish you as always the most success and also the patience for big gains in the market. We're gonna see each other in the next video. I wish you the best. Bye bye guys. Bye.